is my chest voice. Shut up and sing with Heather. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Shut Up and Sing. I'm Heather, your professional voice teacher, here to offer some words of advice. Today, I'm looking for all the ladies. Where my ladies at? Where my ladies at? Because today we're going to be talking about voice registers. Okay, so the female voice generally has 3 registers in it. Okay, we've got our chest voice, we've got our middle voice. I call it the much misunderstood middle voice. And we've got our head voice. Okay, now the chest voice is when typically you feel it kind of rattling around in your chest. This is my chest voice. Boy, if you like to sing in the chest voice, you probably only like to sing in the chest voice. Now the next one coming up is the middle voice. If you could read music, that's actually where most of the music in the staff is located. This is my middle voice. And sometimes people have a little bit of a hard time finding where to place that voice. We'll talk about placement in another video. And our head voice is the stuff on top. I'm singing in my head voice. Right? That's the really high stuff. Some people feel super comfortable up there. But the main thing to take away from this video is the 3 registers of the voice. Again, the chest, the middle, the head voice. But between those registers, there's something that the Italians call the passaggio, which translates directly as the passage, but in English, we generally call it the break. That's where the voice just doesn't seem to want to get into gear. So if I'm in my chest voice and I'm bringing it up and I'm bringing it up and I'm bringing it, eventually it's gonna crack, right? You're gonna get a big crack. That's when we start to hear this, when people have trouble with those transitions. The same thing happens in the middle voice up to the head voice. We can also have a difficult transition there. Luckily, my experience is that most singers have trouble with one or the other. I know you're wondering which one's my problem. It's the lower one. Now you know. I've aired my dirty laundry, so now you can think about which one's giving you trouble. Here's the deal with the passaggio. Unfortunately, they never go away. But what we can learn to do is how to negotiate the passaggio. Now that's a hard thing for me to do in a video that's going out to, I hope, thousands of people. But one thing I can tell you that I always give as a quick thought is just don't push it. Whenever you're coming up the scale, okay, and you feel like you're banging on the ceiling, don't bang on the ceiling. Just walk up to the next floor, okay? Just walk up to the next floor, and then when you're in the middle, you feel the same thing, just walk up to the next floor. Also, if this makes sense to you, think about the low voice, the chest voice, being a bit heavier, right? Heavier, and then the middle voice is a little bit lighter, and then the head voice, which should feel a little heady, kind of like it's left the body, should be our lightest voice, okay? We cannot carry that weight up to the head voice. They're just not the same registers, okay? So you really have to think about how you want to drop the weight as you go up. Now, I know for some of you, you might think, I don't like that break, Heather. I don't like that transition between my chest and my middle. But you have to start working it out. You have to think about the voice as kind of like a little baby, okay? So, or maybe a plant is a better one. Anyway, if you don't water it, give it air and water and food, it's not going to grow and be the best voice you want it to be. So if you're scared of your head voice, as long as everything feels okay up there, go ahead and start doing some warm-ups up in that head voice. Remember, it's not going to get better overnight if you don't keep working on it. The big thing to note is these passaggios, these register shifts. They happen to everybody. So if you find yourself having a lot of cracks or breaks on them, again, feel like you're gonna lighten up as you go through them. Just walk on up to the next voice. The transitions will slowly start to get easier, but do know that it takes a little while to feel like those transitions are non-existent, because everybody that you hear, you're gonna say to me, Heather, what about this singer? She doesn't sound like she has a passaggio, or what about that singer? Everybody has them. They've just learned how to negotiate the passaggio. Try not to be afraid of it, and try to really get that register a little bit bigger than you maybe have been using up until this point, okay? Good luck, and thank you for tuning in to Shut Up and Sing with Heather. Now get out there and shut up and do some singing.